outtakes here. Well, like intakes and fun takes.
There we go.
Okay, we're here at Marine Corps Base Quantico at the O course, the obstacle course with Brooke and Margaret.
Yeah.
What are we doing out here today?
We met this morning a little early. I think
Yeah.
I was told to be someplace at 6:15,
Trying to beat the heat.
or was it?
Keyword trying.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
And so we came and we saw, and Brooke conquered the course. She had the fastest time because the girl doesn't give up. She just defies gravity. And she does have a Marine that has been training and helping, and he's a pretty solid dude. And so we're just reflecting on the fact that we are having this really unusual experience where we get to come someplace that's kind of hallowed ground. Like, you have to be in the Corps really to come. So we're some of those visitors that want to be respectful and appreciative of the fact that they train like this all the time. Like, normal citizens don't know the 24/7, 365 routine.
And the
But-
men and women that were out here in this heat volunteering to do this as a fun Saturday morning.
Yeah, yeah. After spin class and other things that they did just to, kind of get the legs warmed up. And so we just saw really amazing human beings, and everybody. The camaraderie is what you and I were talking about. We saw a lot of that, and we got to get a little of that.
In
I
our
will-
little group and the other guys. And
Yeah.
women here.
So this might be a place where people that need a little extra support get to come and train. So let's use me as an example. Like, hypothetically, if I don't have the upper body strength to get over certain obstacles, it's possible a Marine would just come around and like throw me over the wall. It's possible. We
May
don't
or may
know.
not have happened.
May or may not.
Of course, yeah.
But
We've heard.
Just because I was able to do some obstacles doesn't mean I really did those obstacles. But the thing that we really want to do is just kind of bring awareness to about flame burn injuries. Really cannot get people to pay enough attention to the fact that the vapors explode. Vapors are invisible fuel. They always want to flash back through the invisible wick. They will go to the source of the container, which is the opening. They'll pressurize it and it will turn it into a flamethrower. Certainly, we have too many injuries that are happening in routine maintenance training and situations like that. But please know this is the injury that happens to my kids, your kids, anybody's kids. Like, I'm called Not Your Turn to Burn, because I look at this as a real teachable opportunity. We don't have a lot of times in our country where we just say the problem is we got to teach, we got to train, we got to warn. The solution's simple, it's basic, it's non-technical, it's a piece of window screen, or it's a disc that's got perforated holes in it. Simple. So the fact that these used to be on our containers, nobody's really talking about the fact that that was removed. These injuries have been around for hundreds of years, but those cans that had flame arresters have never caused one of these injuries or been involved with one. So DOD requires it to keep military and non-military safe. OSHA says anybody in a work environment must have it. Guess what nobody's talking about? Science teachers in school, they're using it to do demonstrations. They're ending up with these injuries in their classrooms, and it's injuring themselves. So to be specific, we're talking ethanol, methanol, gasoline. It could be lighter fluid, but they did something really smart on lighter fluid. 3 years ago, maybe it was longer, there used to be one hole. It was a squeeze container. It was one big hole. If you squeezed it and you let it go, it would suck the flame inside and you'd have a burst. Genius. You know what the smart engineers did at those companies? They put 3 holes side by side. That is basically an effective flame arrestor. So charcoal, you can't find them on the market anymore, but they could still be in your shed. Pay attention if you've got an older charcoal. Open it up, look at it. Stop, check, protect, look at it. Gas cans on store shelves, because we've been working this hard for 3.5 years. Gas can companies that took them off have decided to put them back on, and now they're on shelves. Yay. Guess what the problem is? Anybody who has a gas can from before, like, in other words, like, let's be clear, up until about 2000, 2002, a lot of consumer cans had it. Taking them off in 2000 until 2018, 2019, great. 2 amazing companies have gone ahead and put the flame arrestor on. Not stupid flame mitigating devices, which I shouldn't call them stupid. They're very smart. It works. It's just not as effective. It will mitigate the risk. If you want to actually stop the risk, you put a bomb mitigating device, which is a flame arrestor. If it does a flashback explosion, it stops it dead. It just dissipates the heat. It doesn't let it pass through. That barrier works. So I've been chatting on all this. Brooke, you've been around me. You kind of know my story. What do you think? Because you do this kind of stuff in DC. She is genius. I've got to just say, she works getting young people, a lot of women, a lot of young people involved in government, in civil, I want to say civil discourse.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just kind of, the organization is called Turning Point. I'm an ambassador with them. And basically it's just raising awareness, having conversations about, you know, ordinary people like yourself that has a story, that has a passion, and using that for good and for change.
Yeah.
And, you know, just helping youth kind of find their voice, find a path, and let them know that their voice matters. And
I think it's so cool. Like, I think you and I, we would have loved to have done this when we were younger. So things like this, at least there's people going before and helping those behind us get a better opportunity and kickstart it younger. Because we need strong, smart people with vision. That's leadership, right? So we want to see leaders coming to DC. We want to see government getting better and doing more for the people. And we want to keep those that are serving our country safe. So please help us get the word out. NotYourTurnToBurn.com is our website. You can find me on social media of Not Your Turn to Burn. My name's Margaret Priest Lewis, and it's been a pleasure to come to Quantico today. Thanks.
thanks, guys.